what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a really exciting video. We are doing a makeup tutorial on the Victoria's Secret fashion show makeup. I'm so excited. This was so much fun to recreate because this year at the show they had a ton of bloggers, influencers, YouTubers, and it was just really fun because I got to see a lot of the makeup looks and more accurately dupe the products and like really get this look to look as accurate as possible for you guys. And Charlotte Tilbury was posting a lot too, and she was the head makeup artist. So I feel like we nailed it, and this looks pretty accurate in my opinion. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys just because I used to do these every year and then I kind of took a break, but now I'm back into it. The takeaway is that it's a really beautiful look, super dewy, super glowy, glossy lips, perfect for any time of year. So before we get into it, please make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel so you can stay updated whenever I upload new videos. And please also make sure that you guys come follow me on Instagram as well, because you'll find me on Instagram when I'm not on YouTube, and you'll see, you know, more photos of makeup and outfits and all that fun stuff. So okay, let's get into the makeup tutorial. The most important thing of this look is properly prepping the skin before applying the makeup. So making sure that your skin is exfoliated, cleansed, moisturized. I went in with a heavy thick cream moisturizer, let it sink in for about 20 minutes, and then went in with something a little bit lighter just so my skin is still nice and hydrated prior to makeup application. I used my Proteiny Peptide Cream from Drunk Elephant. This one is really nice and lightweight, so it's great for using before makeup application. And now we're just gonna go into makeup prep. So I'm gonna start off by priming my face, and I'm gonna be using this new primer from Revlon that I'm absolutely in love with. This is the Revlon Rose Glow Hydrating and Illuminating Primer. It comes with a little dropper, and there's actually little tiny oil beads in here, and they pop. So what I like to do is rub it in between my hands so I get all of those little beads popped, and then I just apply it all over my face, and it's really lightweight and so hydrating on the skin, and it has like a little bit of shimmer to it. Instead of being a primer that like lays on top of the skin, it really sinks in and makes your skin feel really good rather than just kind of like sitting on top of it. To use as an illuminator underneath my base makeup, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. Good sized amount, about that much. I'm just going to apply this all over the skin. I'm going to be mixing two foundations together just so I can get my ideal coverage. So I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Foundation. This one sets down to a matte finish, and then I'm going to mix it with the NARS Sheer Glow, which is more of a dewy finish. So I want something that's like a little bit more right in the middle. And I'm also going to add in just a little bit of the Kojendo Aqua Illuminator, and that should be a good match. Just going to dot this all over my skin. I want to work in really thin layers because with these Victoria's Secret looks, you really want the skin to still look like skin. You don't want it to look cakey or heavy. So working in super thin layers is the way you can get the most coverage while not having the face look heavy. Okay, I'm gonna do one more light layer of foundation just to get a little bit more coverage, and I'm also going to use this on my eyelids just to kind of prime for shadows. For concealer, I'm using the Dior Skin Forever. This is one of my favorites. Lightly apply this where I want some added brightness, so like right under the eyes. And again, with the concealer, we're doing the same thing. We want to work in thin light layers and add the coverage as you go rather than adding a ton all at once, because you kind of want to avoid that cakey look and you want the brightness, but you just don't want to add too much all at once. So like I was saying, Charlotte Tilbury did the makeup for the show. I was able to lurk her Instagram, and they did show the quad that they used on the angels, but I don't think that was the only thing that was used, just because there are some tones in the look that look like they're not in that quad. So I'm just going to be doing this my way. So for the transition shade, I'm going to be using kind of like a mid-tone brown. This one's from Marc Jacobs. It's their bronzer. And I am just going to use this to kind of carve out the hollow of the eye, to add a little bit of definition in there Make sure you also put a little bit on the outer corner just to deepen that up. Then I'm gonna take a Laura Mercier smudge brush and I'm gonna pick up that Marc Jacobs bronzer and I'm just gonna run this on the lower lash line. And then the Angels also had a shimmery crease. Typically in eyeshadow looks, they do a matte crease, but this one is shimmery this year, so we're gonna do it. So I'm using the MAC Patrick Star Quad, but I'm only gonna be using Amber Lights for this look because this kind of matches the bronzy look that they had in the crease. This is a Laura Mercier eye crease brush, and I am just going to carefully be applying this bronze into the crease. You still want some definition from this shade, even though it's shimmery. We're still just gonna be carefully applying it so that we get a little bit of definition from it. I'm taking that Laura Mercier brush and just kind of softening that line a little bit. And then on the eyelid, it's like a really light golden champagne, super reflective. So I'm gonna use the Marc Jacobs All Over Illuminator. This one is in the shade Guilty. And I'm just picking this up on a flat shadow brush. This is the Laura Mercier shadow brush. And I'm just going to lightly apply this all over the lid. You want to make sure that you're using something that's lighter than the crease color because you want there to be a differentiation between the two shades. And that's kind of the tricky thing about the look is that since we're only using shimmers, you have to be a little bit more strategic with where you're placing the shadow so it doesn't all just blend together and look too muddy. I'm going to take my smudge brush again from Laura Mercier. I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs highlighter and I'm going to place this right on the inner corner of the eye. And then I'm going to take a little pencil brush and I'm gonna pick up Amber Lights and then that's gonna go on the lower lash line just to put a little bit of shimmer down there. I'm gonna be using eyeliner. Sometimes Victoria's Secret does eyeliner, sometimes they don't. I think it just depends on the vibe they're going for that year. They did use eyeliner this year and I'm gonna be using a deep espresso brown so that it's not as harsh as a black eyeliner. So this one's from LA Girl and I'm also gonna be using a flat brush. This is the Laura Mercier flat eyeliner. And the way we're gonna do this is by taking the pencil. I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm just going to apply it to the top lash line. The thing is that I want this to be a little bit more hazy and not too harsh. You want definition, but you don't want it to be too stark. So I would recommend using a brown and not a black eyeliner. And then doing your wing like this. And then I'm taking the L'Oreal Lash Paradise eyeliner, and what I'm doing is just closely tracing above my lashes so that they look thicker, but I'm not gonna wing this out and I'm not making it thick. I'm applying it as closely as I can. Okay. So now let's move into blush. I'm gonna be using this one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's her Beach Stick in Formentera. And what I'm gonna do is, we're using the back of our hand a lot. We're gonna take it on the back of the hand and then on a beauty blender, the one that I was using for my foundation, I'm just gonna lightly pick up the product. And then I'm just gonna dab this on the apples of the cheeks. And it's gonna give you that like beachy, fleshy glow. And it's just like a nice natural flush. I'm gonna be using Benefit Hoola, and I'm gonna do a light chisel with this just because the Victoria's Secret Angels are never super contoured. They definitely get their faces defined, but it's nothing too overly contoured. So what I'm gonna do is just apply this like right around the hairline. I'm also gonna take this right under the cheek, just lightly. I'm gonna do the chin, and then lightly right down the sides of my nose, just to add a little bit of definition. Okay, then we're gonna bronze the skin. I'm using the Givenchy Amber bronzer, and the thing about bronzer, when choosing a bronzer for this look, is that you wanna use something with shimmer. This one has a lot of shimmer to it. You don't wanna use anything that's matte because this isn't a matte look. So you wanna make sure that you pick a bronzer that has a lot of reflect to it, not glitter, but just choose a bronzer that kind of gives you a soft glow and more of a luminous finish rather than a matte finish. I'm also gonna take this on the neck. For highlight, I'm gonna go back in with that Marc Jacobs Guilty All Over Glaze, and I'm gonna use this Laura Mercier finishing brush. This is my favorite highlighting brush. I just think it applies highlighter so perfectly on the skin, and paired with this, you're really gonna get that like wet Victoria's Secret glow. And then apply it in a little bit of a swirly motion, really almost buff the highlight into the skin. That's how you get that wet, glossy look. I'm gonna do a little bit down the center of my nose, and chin. I'm gonna quickly fill in my brows. I'm using my Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. And then to set my brows, I'm using the Milk Kush Fiber Gel. I wear the shade Grind. Okay, so the angels are wearing falsies, so we're gonna be wearing falsies too, but we're still gonna pile on the mascara so that we can kind of get the most of the lashes. So I'm just gonna curl mine real quick. I'm gonna start off with a waterproof mascara. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I'm just gonna use this one so that my lashes stay up and curled. So I'm also going to be using the Bobbi Brown Eye Opening Mascara, and I'm going to use this one on the lower lashes and do a second coat on the upper lashes as well. It's just a little bit softer and it'll be easier to take off. So for lashes, we're going to be using individuals from Ardell. These are the medium length. I think these are the most ideal. They're not too long, and they're not really short either, so they're just right. So I'm going to use the Esquido Lash Companion Glue. So I put 3 individual lash clusters on the outer corners of both my eyes, just so that you really get all the emphasis on the outer corner of the eye to really give you that like cat eye look. So 3 on each side, and now we can move into lips. And I'm gonna be using this lip liner, which is the one that Charlotte actually used on the angels. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. I am going to overline my lips because I want them to be a little bit more full. And all of them have this really gorgeous like soft rose petal lip pink. So I'm going to be using Passionate Pink from L'Oreal. This is a matte, and they also used a matte lip color on the angels and then put a gloss on top. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to like lightly dab this into the lips. And then for gloss, I'm gonna use the Dior Lip Maximizer. And they had a ton of lip gloss on. So I'm gonna really pile this on. To finish the look off, we're gonna be using 2 different setting sprays. So first is Lancome's Fix It and Forget It, which is gonna lock all the makeup in place. So I'm just gonna spray this on the face, blocking the eyes. And then we're gonna finish the look off with the Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. This is the GOAT of all setting sprays. So I'm just going to apply this everywhere. This is a brand new one. Just bought it. Okay. And this is the finished look. So we took all the steps, took all the precautions, and this is the final look. I love it. I was really excited to do this tutorial again for you guys because like I said, I used to do these every year and then I just kind of took a break for a while. I don't know why I stopped doing them, but every year it's always kind of a different version of itself. The Victoria's Secret look has always been kind of classically the same. It's always, you know, really dewy skin, very bronzy, lots of lashes, ultra glossy lips, glowy skin, just very angelic, you know. Do you like what I did there? Yeah, it's always pretty much the same thing. I love it every year. I'm always here for it. So I'm, you know, maybe now I'll just continue to do this every single year for as long as I have a YouTube channel. But I hope you guys liked this. If you have any questions about any of the products or techniques or anything like that, be sure to leave it down below. I'll always get back to you guys. I will also have all of the products listed and linked in the description box for you guys, as well as my Snapchat, my Instagram, and my Twitter. So please be sure to come follow me on my other social platforms, because that is where you will find me when I'm not on my YouTube channel. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye guys.